Good evening, everybody. I am very excited to welcome you all to the first episode of The Shift. The Shift will be hosted on the new channel Austin and I are starting called The Shift, and we are very excited to present this amazing platform to everybody with astounding conversations, spectacular guests, and amazing ideas being expressed. I'll let Austin introduce himself a little bit. And then I'll introduce myself as well after him, and then we'll talk a little bit about the channel. Following that, we'll get into some interesting topics about why we wanted to start this channel and see where the conversation moves. So take it away, bro.
Welcome everybody. My name's Austin Hood. Some of you know me from school, some of you know me from soccer, some of you know me just from knowing me, but I make music. My name is Hoodie YL on streaming platforms. You may have heard some of my stuff, you may not have. But I just felt like I wanted to start making music because the world needs to hear a little bit more positivity, and I can provide that some authenticity. And yeah, I'm glad y'all are tuning in today. And we just really wanted to create a space where conversations that are uncommon but casual can happen, and like conversations that will move you, like conversations that will allow you to look at your opinion differently, look at others' perspectives openly. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. This is just the beginning of something special.
It is going to be very special. I'm very excited for this. To introduce myself, my name is Michael Costas. I am a junior at UCF, majoring in political science and sociology. I actually met Austin at UCF as a freshman. Last time I saw him was before COVID hit, which is crazy because that changed everything.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but I plan on going into politics in some way, maybe being a legislator or working as a campaign manager or whatnot. I am currently the founder of the Comrades Caucus of the YDSA, which is a meditation group within the Young Democratic Socialists of America to help free our minds from the material grasp. And I love reading. I make YouTube videos on my channel called The Michael Costas Show, where I'll also be uploading solo content to explain some more specific political topics and spiritual and cultural topics to my guests and audience. And again, I'm very excited to start this show. It seems like it's going to be a great time. And thank you all again for being here. So I wanted to wait, is there anything else that you wanted to say or?
No, I think we should just let the conversation flow.
Yeah. All right. I agree. I wanted to say that this channel, in my view, was a beacon of some sort for self-expression. And I say that because Austin and I think both realize that there are a lot of people in this world right now, especially in America, who find the idea of expression very like scary. You know, they don't want to express themselves through their clothing. They don't want to express themselves through their voice, which should be extremely necessary if you want to have discussions about what's going on in the world. I've seen a lot of people kind of lose that voice or not use that voice of expression. What do you think about that? Because I've been noticing that a lot.
I think we're constantly, as a young generation, redefining what expression is, bro. Like everyone has an imagination, but like I think what expression is to me, what someone else can bring into like my reality for me to see. And somebody personally expressing themselves would just be something like that they bring to fruition into reality. And connection is like the bridge between me seeing it and someone else seeing. I think it needs to be reevaluated that like expression is simply like somebody allowing their mind to flow into like their physical space.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, especially when you said like seeing what the other person wants you to see, kind of like them giving you a glimpse of what of like what they view the world as. And I wanted to talk about expression because yesterday I was walking in my apartment complex and I saw a squirrel on top of a tree and it was like making this weird noise. And I was like, this thing is expressing itself. It's like communicating with either other squirrels or with the birds. And even birds, you know, people say the birds woke me up in the morning. Birds are constantly expressing themselves. They're using their voice in a way to communicate things that we can't even comprehend to other birds that can comprehend it. And that's when I realized I'm like, this channel should be something where what has to be said and what should be said is going to be said, you know, like even when animals are speaking, like why we need to be speaking as people, we need to be communicating with our like family in a way, distant family, but like we are all connected and sharing this space. So
Right.
communication
Just
is
like
so about,
affirmation.
yeah.
Sometimes you say something just because you just want to speak it. Because the voice, like we've grown and evolved through like natural selection to be able to communicate to such a like specific degree in like frequency and portray like just what we're feeling and ideas that like should be more accepted, more looked into and appreciated.
Mhm. And I want to see more ideas like the ones you and I have being brought out. You know, I feel like a lot of people share the kind of views that we hold, but for some reason, I mean, there are many reasons, but it kind of feels like they are afraid to like express their outrage toward a political system. You know, everybody kind of knows something's wrong, but everybody's kind of afraid to talk about it. But the people that do talk about it, either on like the far right or the far left, are always like kind of the most like out there, is what from what I've seen. Not everybody, especially like people on the college Democratic Party or like the Libertarian Party. But at least when somebody goes out and says like the most expressive things, they're on one of the two ends and they get labeled as some like crazy extremists. You know, so how do you think we can have like discussions where people can express like not be afraid to express themselves? Like what do people have to do to like get to that point?
I think it has to be a vulnerability to hear the other person out and just not talk for like their time because you have to learn something every day and like you don't know where it's going to come from. But you know, the person who always talks never changes their ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
simply
that's
like share them and like master them. But you know, you have to take in. I like to think of it like when you speak, you're breathing out. When you're listening, you're inhaling. And when you speak, you're exhaling. When you listen, you inhale. So like having a conscious connection requires like a respiratory like action. Like you have to breathe to be able to like keep the conversation alive.
that, guys, things like that happening, like being said on this channel. This is why you're gonna need to come back. I've never like thought about it that way. The like you have to breathe, you have to exhale, you have to inhale and exhale, and you can keep in your mind. Like I'm gonna do that now that you know I said what had to be said, or what I not what had to be said. I said what I wanted to say, and now I'm gonna like take in that response that will be given to me. I feel like that's kind of going away in a sense. People having the idea of perceiving and responding to what others are saying. I find that to be a problem that comes off of materialism and isolation. Because when you have all these distractions like a PlayStation, phones, you can listen to music that nobody else has heard in like your entire town, and that kind of creates this world that you find yourself comfortable in. And when people try to penetrate that world and show you theirs, or you look at yours, it kind of like you're not ready to do that. Like that anxiety comes upon you of like, I'm not comfortable here and I don't want to kind of like I comprehend at all what this other person's telling me, because the outside is very fragile to me.
Yeah, that's real, bro. Like I go through that every day. I don't want to like step outside of my world of music. I don't want to step outside of my world of my daily routine. Like I have school, I have training, I have things to do. So it's like being able to recognize that is important to me because like I have to actively like breathe when I talk to people. I have so much going on that I don't intend on not hearing you out. I just intend on what I'm already doing. So it's like having the attention to be intentional when talking to people, like listen to them.
Yeah. Right. So I wanted to ask you, Austin, like what's your like idea for this channel that you want the audience to know?
Just keeping an open mind throughout your life, like can grant you so many different lessons, valuable like wisdom, like insight on things you would never need to think about to just do your daily life. So like I want to be able to have conversations that expand on different topics that are not always talked about.
What are some of
And
those topics?
it can be
I'm genuinely
anything, bro. It
curious.
can be anything. That's what I want it to be, like anything at any time. And we can always come back to what we talked about. It's always an open discussion. That's what I want this space to be, just like an open discussion of current like feeling, insight of what's going on, what's on people's minds, what's creating, what's just like what is happening in the world around you or in the world in general.
I think the beautiful thing that we have planned is you and I are going to be kind of the hosts of the channel, but you're going to have your own videos with your own guests. I'm going to have my own videos with my own guests.
I'm excited for
And
that.
we're also going to have videos together where we're talking to like people as a unit, not necessarily as a unit, but like as a stronger disc or more like variable discourse. So there's going to be like so many things we can cover because we're going to be like looking for different people to have on, but it's all going to revolve around like pushing the narrative of societal like rhetoric and discourse.
Yeah,
And it's going to be
sorry.
so
Reevaluate existing rhetoric.
and we're going to be like applying these discussions to so many topics. One of them, which Austin's going to be discussing in his video soon with his friend CJ, I believe,
CJ.
is like, is vegetarian, what was it? Or is it more like good for humans to feel like superior to animals? I don't want to
Oh
butcher it.
yeah, he was saying why humans just feel obligated or entitled to doing tests on animals in labs. Like they just feel because they can, it's okay.
Hmm.
Like it's not gonna be something they're like have to worry about. Something they should change.
Yeah. Like that's a topic that already fosters so much dialogue in my view. Like I want to respond to that. And I would say like it's fucking weird that humans put themselves on that pedestal where they can say like it's okay to eat this but not this. It's okay to do that but not that. But I guess we can save that for like a broader discussion soon. But yeah, like
Always that's has always been an ongoing discussion like forever because people in power dynamics in society like they just have like influence whether it's encouraged or not.
yeah. And I'm really excited to like talk with people about those like power dynamics that occur in society and really hear like what are people that are not too into like the way we view things? Like, how are they seeing like the outside world? And what can like we share? What were you saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, just all the new ideas and different people we're gonna talk to. I'm excited to just like delve into whatever like conversation the universe brings to us, whatever dialogue comes about from that. I know it's gonna be like positive and constructive. Like that's also what I want to have. Like I don't want to have to debate about things, which a healthy debate is good. Like that's cool. People always debate and like change their opinion or like re-educate themselves. That's always great. But I want the objective to be like healthy, constructive, just open and honest. Because there's no point to like sugarcoat the truth if you really want to like make a change about something.
Yeah, I think sugarcoating the truth in our public school systems has been a massive issue, especially when it comes to white people who don't even know a glimpse of like how bad, I don't even know how bad like the previous 400 years were for black people and brown people, and when that truth is sheltered, you have a society where we're at now where you can show somebody like evidence, like concrete, the most factual evidence on possible on many subjects, and that registers as like non-compatible. It's like nothing to me, and that's like a terrible spot to be in as a society. So when we have these discussions, like the truth will be like always prevalent. Like we're always going to be focused. That's why I like you as a human being, is because like we want to exude truth, like if we're busy, if we're doing something that when we're, we can't do this or that, we're going to like express that, like that's why I'm really looking forward to having like a channel that revolves around like bringing the truth to a wider range
And
of
if
people.
not the truth, searching for like a better understanding of something or like a common agreement on like what we think is the best way to like navigate something like bro like world hunger type of thing.
Mhm.
Like so yeah, I think honest communication comes from being like transparent. So I think honestly, since I've known you, bro, like that hasn't been something on my mind. I don't think I don't think it's the conversations we have don't allow for any room for like kind of like beating around the bush.
Yeah. And that's also what I admire about you, bro. Is like we get straight to how we're feeling and what we're thinking. There's no like nervousness where you gotta talk for a little bit and then see how you feel and then like hop back into it. It's just like a conversation that moves, back to that like slogan. But oh, there was a point that you brought up. I lost my train of thought.
Um, I don't know what it would have been, but oh yeah, we're gonna when we start to like do different videos, I just can't wait for like the ideas we come up with.
Me
We're
too,
gonna have
man.
a lot of fun stuff going on. A lot of
Yeah.
funny stuff, a lot of serious stuff, a lot of different stuff in the same video. I have ideas that like I'll go around campus, ask people like what's going on in their life, like not really personal questions, but like personal ideals or like current news situations. Maybe just like what's your favorite food? Anything.
Mhm. All right. I documented my point and I also want to like emphasize what you said. First, I'll emphasize what you said is like talking with people on your campus. I was planning on doing that as well. And obviously having like those funny, joking, jovial conversations, but also like getting to really get deep with someone. I will also be
Yeah.
finding like people like the college Republicans, and I'll just be like, what do you guys value about human beings? Like, what do you want to see? Like, how do you want to see humans collaborate on ending climate change? Like that's going to tie in right into what I jotted down, which is the thought I lost on that train, the Polar Express came back. It was like, we're on this channel, bro. I don't, you probably agree with me. Like, we're not going to say, is climate change real? You know, we're going to be like, how do we fix climate change? We're not even going to like,
It's
you,
clickbait.
you see these news outlets being like, we're going to have a climate science denier on, and he's going to like maybe say why climate change isn't happening. Like, once you set that up, it kind of creates this thing like, oh, maybe it isn't true. We're not going to say, is COVID a real virus? Like, that's a stupid point that shouldn't even be like, you know, it's just like those kinds of things I think we both don't really want.
Yeah, and if we do bring up a conspiracy theory, it'll probably be for the entertainment value more than the credibility value. But there's theories that are less conspiratorial and more so theoretical in my eyes, and that I think are interesting to bring up. And like one in general is like the Mandela effect, um, thing like that.
What is that?
That's when like something you thought was spelled a certain way, or for example, and now you look at it in the future and it's spelled differently, like the Berenstain Bears, and now they're spelled differently in the future, but everyone remembers them with like an A instead of an E at the end, with Stein versus Stain.
Damn.
So I remember one of the ways, but I remember saying Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstain Bears, but it's something like that. Just how like that's not really a conspiracy theory. That's just a conversation point. Like,
yeah. Even
nothing
like,
changes
oh, my bad.
other. Sorry,
No,
nothing
you're good.
changes of the investigation of like that theory, rather than like a flat Earth conspiracy. Like that doesn't really make any like constructive leadway into like anything I would talk about next. But I would find something to change the topic to, of course.
Yeah, I like some theories that are conspiracies are honestly really interesting. Have aliens visited Earth? Like, that's not a terrible thing to talk about. You know, it's like creating a theory about it. So things along those lines that, you know, generally we can theorize about, I think are going to be awesome.
Another thing, I saw this excuse me, I saw this quote today. It was like maybe aliens haven't came and showed themselves to us because the term alien is like it's like stereotypical. It's like a slur.
I saw somebody saying that, like, Demi Lovato. I
There's a
think
lot.
Demi Lovato is like, we shouldn't call extraterrestrial beings aliens or something like that, or call immigrants aliens, or one or the other.
It was
And
definitely Lovato that I saw.
yeah, I was like, somebody said like call them like boops, like beyond our orbital planetary system. Like, yeah, those boops.
Boots.
I was like, what the fuck?
Call them no, bro, because that's the best term I've heard so far.
Poops.
Oops.
Dude, that'd be an amazing like catchphrase. Yeah, we got some boops on the way.
Oh, oops.
Well, yeah, man. Again, like, thank you for like starting this up with me. I think we got some amazing things on the way.
We were talking about this for a while, so I already knew it was on the way, but like just getting it going, bro, like it's only growth from this point on.
Do you want to tell some people how to find you, and then I'll tell them where to find myself?
Oh yeah. So if you go to the Linktree link in the YouTube channel, you can find me, or on the social pages, you can find any of our socials, and also just HoodieYL, HUDIYL, any platform. I got some music on the way. We'll see.
Yes,
Look
sir.
forward to it.
Guys, the music he produces spectacular for somebody his age. The like animations on the animation panels, guys, check him out. It's fucking sick. But yeah, you guys can find me. My Twitter is at Michael Costas. I currently don't have Instagram, but I do have another YouTube channel where I'll be uploading another podcast on my series Hang Out with a Human with a German and Swedish activist who's an exchange student. It's gonna be pretty exciting. And that's the Michael Costas Show on YouTube, or just look up Michael Costas. And I'll be working on making a link tree soon. And they can find us at __ dot the shift on Twitter. I don't know if that's right. What's the Instagram?
Instagram is _.theshift, and we'll write it in the video or something. We'll make it available.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't worry about it.
And also we'll be like, we're still in the process of making the social media accounts look like exactly the way we want them to be. And
You know, it's important to get this video right here going, because with this comes another video, and with another video comes new ideas. It's just a upward cycle.
yeah, we're only going up from here, guys. So thank you so much for watching this. We will give you all more news soon, and I can't wait to give this thing a go.
All right, I think we should